Does it take a character growing and changing for you to be invested in them? If they're always the same, if they're always wrong, or if they're always right, or if they're always cool or victorious in a situation, does it take the stakes out of things for you? Does it ruin them? I'm not sure I really have an answer to that. This is MJ. I love Tokusatsu, and right now I want to talk about Kamen Rider Zero-One, Episode 10. This episode is a little bit hard to define. It's about Yaiba, but it's about Isamu. Maybe it's more about their relationship. And there was nothing super new that I could highlight easily. There's like a porcupine gun or whatever that that Yaiba gives to Isamu towards the end of the episode. That he puts in a shotgun and is able to fire off this neat attack with all these quills that come out. But other than that, there was nothing visually new, no new forms, no real new weapons or anything like that, other than, like I said, that combination of him doing that. There was a funny bit where apparently Izu and Aruto have worked out some sort of sign language where she gestures wildly, and she's able to communicate to him what's going on, and she uses that to present to him the fact that while he is being an extra in this TV drama that hidden intelligence is trying to use to make the company's public image good, that Ames is fighting off Metsubo Chinrai, and I thought that was pretty funny. The actress, she does an excellent job of having a deadpan face and using these, and then acting in silly ways or saying silly things, and it just very effective, fun stuff. And we could see Samu slugged in the face by Bird Boy. No, not Bird Boy. Jin. With his Falky on. Anyway, something interesting. Zaya Enterprises has come back. We saw their logo pop up really big in Daybreak Town, in talking about the Daybreak Town with the tour bus guide Anna, I think. Anyway, I think we've seen the outside of their building before, or at least a little bit when Yaiba's been there talking with the guy with the little robot on his desk who gave her Lightning Hornet. This fellow, who I believe is the head of Zaya Enterprises, yeah, has a whole mess of Progrise keys. He has all the toys lined up neatly on his desk to make you want them, and more importantly than that, he discusses with Yaiba that he wants her to bring him Progress keys. So I don't know how many entities or factions are manufacturing Progress keys, but we know that the hidden satellite up in the sky that Izu's connected to, and that Aruto's brain was connected to when he put on the driver, the Zero-One belt, that is called Zaya, and it's spelled differently. Obviously, it sounds differently. And then this is the Zaya Corporation. And over here at Zaya Corporation, they're manufacturing these, or I actually don't know if they're manufacturing them, but he said he developed Lightning Hornet for her, so it seems as if maybe they have one of those 3D printers like the one that they have at Hidden Intelligence. Anyway, he gives that to Yaiba, and or he gives a new Progress key to her, and he instructs her to use it in whatever way she can, but then he also tells her that he wants her to bring him a new one. Don't know what that means. Maybe he wants a Zemetsu Rise, and I guess that is the point. He was kind of saying that he was irritated that she gave Mammoth, which was an extinction key, a Zemetsu Rise key, over to Zero-One and Hidden, when she could have, I guess, brought it to him and done something. Because thinking about it, if she is running some more complicated game, which she obviously is, and that's discussed openly in this episode, she has other goals and reasons, probably related to whatever operation she's running with this guy at Zaya, for having abducted and manipulated, messed with little assassin, and she, I guess after the fight with him, she took Did he? No, somebody else said the man with the key, and he's always said the dodo. Anyway, um, my point is she's manipulating these other things, has all this other stuff going on in the background, and this guy was uh, just basically scolding her, saying that he wants her to get back with the program and to uh, stay consistent with their goals, whatever those are. And uh, her goal, at least one of her goals, is to take down hidden intelligence. We're not sure why. I can't remember now if Fuwa uses the phrase expose hidden intelligence or take down, because his concern, and he clarifies to her, his only concern is stopping the, which is interesting. His only concern is stopping the, Humagear from rampaging and from harming people, and he says that they're there to stop Humagear, not to do anything about hidden intelligence specifically. And there's a distinction there for him. So he'd be fine with Hedon continuing to operate if maybe they got out of the Humagear game, or I don't know what other technologies they have developed that they can utilize, but she seems to be working with Zaya against hidden intelligence itself, whereas Fuwa is working, he doesn't care about hidden intelligence itself as long as the Humagear aren't affecting people like they affected him. Central to the plot of this episode, there is a TV drama with a Humagear who's playing a detective and a veteran actor who's playing a legendary assassin. And there's a concept of duality brought up. The assassin says to the detective in the show that in the show that people are like coins, in that they have two sides, and that he reveals his true self to the young detective when he turns his gun on him and he looks like he's gonna try to kill him. And there was something else, but I lost the thread there. It's interesting to me because Little Assassin is watching this guy's movies or shows or whatever, and he sees that this guy's a master assassin, and it seems as if this veteran actor has played assassins multiple times in his life. And there's been kind of a running gag between Jin and Little Assassin that he keeps losing, and that he keeps coming back, and that Yaiba kind of expresses interest that he keeps coming back, and why. And Jin kind of ribs him and says, you keep losing. And Little Assassin says, it's not that I keep losing, I'm growing and I'm getting stronger. And when he talks to the actor who he thinks is a real assassin, I believe, he tells him that he wants to become stronger. He demonstrates that he's copied some of his moves from this assassin movie or show that he was in, and then he communicates to him again and again, I want to become stronger. And he is able to disguise himself as a human. He acts, and he gets complimented on acting better than the Humagear, even though he's just some random guy off the street, basically. And they even do a line reading together, and I can't remember the guy's name. It's something, Oyada or something. Anyway, they have a really good time, and it kind of pushes the actor to become disheartened with the Humagear, the actor Humagear, and that sparks the conflict even more and causes the Little Assassin to try to destroy that Humagear, and that gets Ames involved further in the plot. And that brings me to my next point, that the detective and assassin drama, the duality between them and their friendship, is reflective of the relationship between Isamu and Yaiba. And Isamu kind of sees himself as the naive, stalwart detective who is sticking to the rules, even though he violates the rules and goes off and goes rogue all the time. It's just kind of funny how we always see ourselves as the heroes, and he sees Yaiba as the assassin who is leading this double life, which, in fairness, she is kind of leading a double life. But it's just interesting how it's framed, and he ends up asking her in a moment of tension, why she had saved him, and she explains that it's because it's what she wanted to do, and they arrive at an understanding that while they are working, I wouldn't say at cross purposes, but while they're working towards a mostly common goal, but they have their own unique takes on what they're going to be doing through aims. Uh, that they are friends. They do have a friendship. They do have a camaraderie. He ends up saying that they're even, but I think they're gonna go ahead and continue to save each other and to one up each other and to have that favorite to call on as the series progresses. And uh, I don't know. It's very interesting. There's even a remark that they say that basically one day, or she warns him that one day that she's gonna have to turn against him and they're gonna fight, and he just kind of says, "Yeah, well, I'm gonna win," and that's the end of it. So it's a very interesting. Their relationship has just become more complicated and more interesting, and I'm wondering where it's all gonna go. I gotta stop now. I'm out of time. Had a lot of fun talking about this though. MJ Loves Tokyo can be found on YouTube, iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher. Check out mjmunoz.com for my other review series, another Ridercast, King of Hearts Queen of Sorrows, Going Ultra, and Swinging Through Comics, as well as my writing projects. Love what I do? Want to support me? My Coffee and Redbubble accounts have you covered. Relevant links below. If you had a good time, like, share, and leave a comment. Like, for example, who do you think would win in a fight between Isamu and Yaiba? And do you think Little Assassin is going to become a full-fledged writer, full-fledged character? Is he going to reach singularity on his own and become his own entity? Does he remind you, if you've seen SSSS.Gridman, of Auntie? Because he sure reminds me of Auntie. Let's talk about it. Subscribe and ring that bell to stay current on weekly Zero-One reviews, and remember, you don't have to shout Henshin to be a hero.